Flight deck control. Confirm readiness for exercise.
All systems green. Request permission to launch.
Permission granted. Begin launch sequence.
The new Israeli aircraft carrier, featuring advanced naval capabilities and integrated fighter jet technology, was
The carrier, designated CV-V30, utilized advanced damage control systems, allowing it to remain afloat despite
Fire contained. Structural integrity teams move in now. Major damage on the flight deck conduits. Bring the heavy lifting gear to Section 4 for debris removal.
The schematics confirm the structural integrity around the propulsion system is compromised.
We'll have to reroute the auxiliary power before attempting repairs.
The structural integrity here is compromised.
We need to reinforce Section Gamma before retrofitting the new systems.
Agreed. Let's cross-reference the original schematics.
This section here is structurally weak. We need to reinforce the hull plating before modernization.
Zoom in on the flight deck specifications.
The stress fractures here are worse than anticipated.
We need to revise the plating thickness immediately.
Focus on the propulsion system integration here. The current design allows for modular upgrades.
But what about the weight distribution with the new systems?
Based on the blueprints, this section is critical. However, the modeling shows severe damage here. We must assess the structural stability immediately.
System flashing red confirms critical failure at the stern section.
The propeller housing took a direct hit. It's worse than we thought.
Use the torch on that seam right there. Firing the hydraulic puller now. Clear the area. It's moving. Watch for stress fractures.
Look at the pitting on this blade. Iranian ordnance did maximum damage here.
It's worse than the propeller. We'll need a full replacement.
Look at the stress fracture here on the casing.
It's worse than we thought. We need to replace the entire module.
We need to replace the entire compressor assembly.
Switching to radar diagnostics. Ensure calibration is precise.
The structural integrity is severely compromised in sections 4 through 6.
We need to determine if a full restoration is even feasible at this point.
The propulsion system readings are still offline.
We're showing multiple failures in the starboard engine control systems. It's worse than we anticipated.
Structural damage compromises the starboard engine. We must inspect the hydraulic systems on the missile launchers immediately.
Acknowledged. Running systems checks now.
These readings are unstable. The power fluctuates too much.
We have to isolate the damaged section before we attempt a bypass.
Voltage reading here is unstable. Are we getting a bypass signal?
Negative. The primary circuit is definitely compromised.
The telemetry data suggests a fault in the guidance system relay.
I agree. We should isolate that circuit and run a diagnostic.
This conduit shows significant thermal damage.
We need to replace the entire section. It's compromised.
Noted. Recording the serial number now.
Check the connection point on C4 next.
It's secure. Readings look good.
Acknowledged. Updating the log now.
Continuity check is good on this line.
Confirmed. Next, we need to inspect the coupling at point 47. It looks damaged.
Primary connections are stable.
Acknowledged. Damage assessment uploaded.
Check the connection on the purple line.
It's secure. Moving to the next one.
Verify connection on line 3. Confirmed. Proceeding with the crimp.
Ensure the polarization is correct before I lock this in.
It's aligned. Go ahead and crimp. Missile system secure. Ready for transport.
Load the crate onto the vehicle. Secure the straps tightly.
Locking mechanisms engaged, sir.
Tighten the forward strap. Make sure it's secure.
It's secure, Commander. Ready for transport.
Confirmed. Move out.
Watch the clearance on the starboard side.
Secured. Moving to the next container, make sure Lot 3 is logged.
Is the third bundle secured yet?
Almost.
Tightening the straps now.
Confirmed. Documenting the damage on Unit 4.
Stand down! Stand down!
We have multiple breaches on the hangar deck.
All hands respond to emergency stations.
Move that wreckage now. We need access.
Damage control party, report to the hangar bay. We have secondary fires starting.
Cut power to deck 2 immediately.
Salvage Team Alpha, start cutting at frame 40.
Watch for secondary explosions.
We need to cut this section free now. Get the torches ready. Copy that. Moving in. Watch for falling debris.
Direct the stream lower. Hit the base of the fuel fire.
Copy that. Increasing pressure.
Major structural failure on the stern section. We have to contain the fire before we can assess further.
Acknowledged. Focusing all available lines on the breach. Structural integrity compromised at frame 4 Bravo.
Copy that. Initiating emergency shoring procedures.
Fire suppression team report status on the fantail blaze. Over.
That welding unit secured. We're losing stabilization on the shaft.
Fire suppression is active, but the secondary blaze is spreading.
The shaft housing is critical. We need to cool it down now. Bring the secondary foam line over here. Get those conduits repaired. We're losing power fast.
Damage assessment on the flight deck shows critical failure in the navigation array.
We've got a catastrophic failure in the navigation system. We need to reroute auxiliary power now.
This exhibits, despite the structural failure, they salvaged the navigation controls. It speaks volumes about their rapid response capabilities.
Look at the deformation near the control room. That appears to be the primary impact point.
Precisely. The fires spread rapidly from there, compromising the radar systems completely.
Primary control room sustained catastrophic damage here.
Yes, the structural failure is evident. I'm noting the thermal impact on the navigation systems.
Look at the extent of the damage to the primary radar array.
It mirrors the control room impacts we saw earlier. Documentation is critical here.
The impact here completely severed the primary radar conduits.
Confirmed. The navigation systems show identical failure points.
This is where the primary impact breached the cooling lines.
And the subsequent pressure cascade destroyed the main turbofans.
The thermal stress on these pipes indicates a catastrophic failure before the main breach.
My readings confirm that assessment.
Look at this wiring harness, completely vaporized at the nexus point,
And the screens just shattered from the kinetic shockwave.
Remarkable. The console failure accelerated the cascade effect.
Which explains the extent of the damage here. The resilience protocols didn't activate in time.
The structural integrity here is completely compromised.
Yes, the thermal stress alone suggests a massive internal detonation.
The damage assessment confirms the catapult system is a total loss.
Look at this section here. The blast fractured the main support beam.
Confirmed. Marking it for immediate reinforcement analysis.
All right, lower the beam slowly. Clear the starboard side. We have sparks incoming.
This vulnerability point needs immediate attention. We must reinforce this area during repairs.
Agreed. Add that to the modification list for the upgrade team.
This section highlights the vulnerability of the hydraulics.
Agreed. Future modifications must include reinforced shielding around these access points.
This twisted beam is critical. We must analyze the failure point before cutting it loose.
Agreed. Mark it for specialized extraction.
According to the schematics on the tablet, this section should be stable enough to move.
Agreed. Mark it for extraction and prioritize the components underneath.
The structural integrity here is compromised. Start welding.
Beginning the repair sequence on the hull plating.
Analysis confirms the elevator tracks are a total loss. We'll need to redesign the entire mechanism.
I agree. Let's incorporate the proposed upgrades into the salvage plan.
If we upgrade the control systems here, we can prevent this specific vulnerability. Agreed. The current shielding is insufficient against that level of kinetic impact.
The structural integrity of this bay is compromised. Look at the stress fractures on these beams.
This section of the launcher. Documenting now.
The multimeter shows a power fluctuation here.
Yeah. Is it the localized damage or the main grid?
I'm logging the coordinates now.
Torque that connection to 50 foot-pounds. Copy that. Applying torque now.
Power flow initiated on Sector 4.
Readings are stable. No voltage drop.
Good. Mark that conduit clear for operations.
Is the primary connection secured?
Almost. I need the torque wrench.
Monitor the voltage while I patch this line.
We need power restored to the elevator mechanism immediately.
Rerouting auxiliary power now. ETA 5 minutes.